Wow, this your boy Diesel. You already know what it is.
All right. So, Diesel, before you were sentenced to life in prison for murder, would you say your time as a kid was spent paranoid or were you more free of worries?
I was more free of worries because I was hanging with all the big boys, breaking all the rules. And these were guys that had reputations, and I just thought nothing could ever happen to them or myself. So I was worry free. I didn't think about nothing could ever go wrong.
And what would you say was the first sign that you were wrong?
When Carl Butler got killed,
And how did that affect you?
and I just knew. It's like my world came to an end. I was like ready to go follow him.
That's when everything changed.
Everything changed.
Wow. You were ready to follow him, you say?
Yes, I didn't care no more. I was all the way in. Then I was ready to die too.
Wow. Sorry to hear that. So, growing up, would you say you were a kind-hearted and helpful kid?
Yes, I was kind-hearted and helpful because I used to always go when I was going to hustle all the time. I used to come back and help all of the kids my age out, give them money to go to the game rooms and buy them tennis shoes, stuff like that, just so they can be dressed like me sometimes.
And why you felt like you needed to do that?
Because their parents were poor just like mine, and they didn't have the skills that I had to make ends meet.
As a child, did you often help the older generation with tasks that lived the older generation around the neighborhood?
Yes, I always helped the old folks. I used to always help with their groceries and go to the school farms, things like that. Even go help them pay their telephone bills and stuff like that.
What made you do those things?
I was raised that way. I was always raised to respect the elderly, so anytime there was a need, I was always there.
Was your grandparents a major influence in your life?
Oh yeah, my grandmother, my mother too. And they both played major parts in my life.
Did you have a grandfather that was any influence in your life at all?
No, I never knew my grandfather.
It was just your grandmother and your mom?
Yes.
Okay. Were your parents well off and didn't need your help, or did you feel a responsibility to contribute financially?
No, we was broke.
Okay.
So I had to go out there and get it. My mother struggled all the time. I don't know how she did it, but she made things happen for us on holidays and things like that. She was never able to give us the things we wanted, but the things we needed, she provided.
So you felt it was your responsibility to contribute?
Yes, it was my responsibility to go get that money.
That's why you got out there.
That's why I was out there head first, 5150.
So what would you say are some of the things that you felt the need to pick up the slack and help your mom with?
The bills. She was able to pay the bills and buy me the things I wanted. The Guess jeans, the polos, the Stan Smiths and things like that I seen other people wearing. She was able to provide that, so I had to just go and do what I had to do.
And taking care of siblings and stuff.
Well, I was the baby boy, but I still done, I did what I did for my sisters, the elder people.
Before you were locked up, did you ever work a regular job, like a fast food job, McDonald's or Burger King or something?
No,
not never worked
I ain't never had a job before in my life.
Oh wow.
The mind frame I had, working the job, those guys were lame, but that was not true. And then the money they was making, I could have made that in a half an hour or so. So I never even thought about having a job.
It never dawned on you that you could grow within that job.
Never thought.
That never crossed your mind. At that time, you had to just get it.
It never crossed my mind.
When you were younger and you started beefing with Terrence Gangsta Williams, who I see now you later became cool with, what was your main focus? Staying alive or getting money?
Both. I knew I needed the money to buy the ammunition that I needed to survive, and also to be able to move around like I wanted to. And I always knew I had to stay alive because they had many people depending on me. And those guys, I was into with some vicious people, and I had to strike first. I had to strike first in order to survive because they wasn't playing. But I knew they was gonna underestimate me, so I had the upper hand. I feel it.
If you had it to do all over again, would you do the same things that you did in your beef with Terrence Gangsta Williams? Like, would it play out the same way, or would you have it play out differently?
It would have played out differently. It would have played out differently because many people have lost their lives. It wouldn't have just been me and him still living right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they took out a lot of my partners. So I'd have been at them. I'd have been more focused on attacking them.
Are you glad that y'all squashed that beef?
Oh yeah, man. Terrence a good dude, man. Terrence always there for me. Yeah.
It's good for the culture to see y'all make amends. I think that this could be a trend that can take flight around the country, with people squashing beef and things and realizing we're grown now. We could put that aside. Okay, so let's change up a little bit, because I know people would like to know about your prison stay and what kind of jobs did you have while you were in Angola?
Yes. I had many jobs,
What kind of jobs?
I was a tutor. I used to work in the kitchen. I worked in the field. I worked at the tractor repair. I did it all.
What were you tutoring?
Teaching guys how to read and write.
Okay. That's good. So you have a lot of trades since you came home. You came home with a lot of trades, right?
Yeah, I came on a few trades.
Okay.
Culinary arts, things like that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you can cook?
Yeah, I'm a cook.
What's some of the things you know how to cook?
Soul food.
Like, tell me some things you know how to cook.
I love cabbage, greens, lasagna, meatball spaghettis,
Okay.
Millerton.
Okay. What you put in your Millerton?
Ground meat and shrimps, oysters, stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that don't know, that's not from New Orleans, you might not know what Millertons is, but it's kind of like a stuffed pepper.
Exactly.
I think it's actually a squash.
It's like a squash. That's
And
right.
so we stuff it like a stuffed pepper, but not quite like a stuffed pepper. So that it's a little Creole dish in New Orleans that we eat.
Yeah, I know about that.
I know. So my next question: in jail, is it mandatory for inmates to work?
Yes, everybody works unless you have a illness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only time you don't work unless you're sick or something.
And do y'all get paid for your work? Is there a pay?
If you call it pay, I was making 40 cents a week, me.
Oh wow.
$19.20 a year. So
Oh, okay. So, but they do pay you something. It's not like free labor. Well, somewhat free labor, but you actually getting some type of pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it ain't free labor. It's free labor.
It's free labor. Okay. Are there any specific requirements or qualifications an inmate must meet in order to be eligible to work?
Certain jobs, like the carpentry crew, you have to know how to build. The welding crew, you got to know how to weld. And in the kitchen, you're supposed to know how to cook, but they don't even check on that. So but you're supposed to have qualifications.
So do they teach some of the carpentry criteria that you have to have? Do they teach those skills in the jail, or they have to come there knowing that?
They teach those skills in jail, but most guys come to prison know already have those type of skills.
That's awesome. That is really, really awesome. Let's see. Do different people jobs pay different wages, or is it a standard hourly rate across the board?
Different jobs pay different wages. The field, you get pennies in the field. When you're a tutor and carpentry crew, stuff like that, you get 20 cents.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you get 20 cents.
20 cents. A week, you say?
No, an hour.
An hour, okay.
20 cents an hour.
And how often do you get a paycheck?
Every Wednesday, it shows up in your spending account.
Okay. And what does a weekly paycheck look like?
Nothing.
Okay. That's what I thought. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was your first job assignment in prison, and what did it entail?
The field. I worked in the field. As soon as I went to prison, they put me in the field.
What were you doing?
Picking cotton and planting vegetables and picking vegetables.
So you do gardening work also?
Yeah, yes. Cutting grass, yeah. Yeah, I learned how to make a lawnmower look like nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with my bare hands. Ain't that something?
Wow. So you know a lot of things about growing vegetables and fruit and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You know what to do
Yeah.
when plants are dying and how to bring them back to life and all of this stuff.
That's right.
So you have a green thumb, would you say? Could you say you have a green thumb?
I have a green thumb.
Oh, wow. Was it volunteer or were you assigned to the jobs that you guys do? Like, do y'all pick your own jobs or do they assign you different jobs?
They assign you jobs.
Okay.
They assign you jobs.
And do you ever get a chance to change jobs if you decide you want to do something else?
Yes.
You have the opportunity to request to change positions?
Yes. Yeah, you can request to change jobs.
So did you enjoy that job? The different jobs you've done?
No. I never enjoyed no job in Angola. No.
Okay. What were some of the good and some of the bad parts about different jobs that you've had?
All the jobs was bad to me, knowing that I got to get up for 2 cents an hour. No.
And how many hours a day would you work?
8 hours. 8 hours a day.
And when would the shift start?
7 o'clock in the morning.
Until like 3 in the evening?
To 3 in the evening. You get a break at 11 and go back out at 12 and yeah.
So like a regular job?
Yes.
You're just not
and
really
scorching hot sun, freezing cold, you're going to be out there in the field.
So did y'all have to go out when it was raining also?
No, they don't let you go out when it's raining.
Okay. So that's the only time you don't work is when it's raining?
Monday through Friday, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Okay. Did you end up meeting people from different races or backgrounds that you might not have hung out with on the outside?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
And what's some of the nationalities that you've ran across?
One of my closest friends is named Angola Stories. He's a white guy. And a guy named Miguel, he's from Colombia. He's one of the guys that's supposed to have killed Barry Seals back in the game. You know, those two guys were really close to me.
Okay. And so you guys grew to respect each other over time?
Yes. Yes. They don't really mess with black folks like talking about it, but I was one of the ones that had favors with them.
So is there like true racism amongst the inmates in the jail?
Oh yeah.
Like the different nationalities don't mingle with each other in Angola?
Everybody really get along with each other except for the blacks. Guys don't really trust and mess around with black people. You know, because they say that, you know, we don't get along with each other, so they know they don't stand a chance, so they don't really mingle with us. You know, there's a selected few of black guys that they mingle with. So
the whites mingle with the Hispanics and other nationalities, but they don't mingle with the blacks too often?
Yes,
Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Oh, I was going to ask what you answered. Can you give us a quick rundown of other jobs you've had while you were incarcerated, if you haven't mentioned all of them already?
Like I said, I worked in the kitchen, I worked in the field picking cotton, I worked at the tractor field working on tractors, I worked on death row.
What did you do on death row?
I was an orderly on death row. I used to go over there and feed them and clean the showers at night. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And what was that like, meeting all of those people that's on death row?
Man, it was those guys are more together up there. You know, they stick together. They're more humble. They don't really be tripping like that because they have a lot on their mind. Yeah, they more cool. I like those guys, really, to be honest with you.
Okay. Did you have any friends that were on that road?
Yes, Twin, the one that was on the charge with Antoinette Frank. I mean, it was in the Paris jail together. You know, I used to see him all the time. Lil Ray from out the St. Thomas, he was up there, so I used to see him all the time. You know, a few guys from Shreveport that I was in LTI with, a lot of them was up there, so I knew a lot of guys up there.
Are they still here?
Yeah, they still in Angola.
They still in.
Yeah, they still on that road. Not Twin now, the one was on the charge with Antoinette Franks, he's off that road now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was his stuff.
Yeah,
they
took
took
the death row off. I think they just gave him life on 75 years, but not for sure.
Okay. So out of all the jobs you had in prison, is there any one that you could say is your favorite?
No, like I said, no job was my favorite. None whatsoever.
Okay. Which, on the flip side, which job would you say was that you found detestable?
Working at the hospital.
What did you
I
have to
used
do
to,
there?
the warden come got me one day and he was like, Ladizo, come to my office. And I'm like, oh man, what did I do? What did I do? So that's what I'm saying to myself. So when I get to his office, he's like, look man, I got a job for you. I need you to go take care of it for me. I'm like, Warden, I done been there too long. I ain't about no work anymore. He said, man, it's a good job for you. I said, good job for me. He said, I said, what it is, Warden? He said, I want you to go to the hospital and work at the cell blocks. Cell block, now I know that's stick out action. He said, I done tried everybody else, man. Nobody lasts 3 to 6 months over there. I said, 3 to 6 months over there? You trying to get me to go over there? And man, my whole deal was messed up. So I went over there, you know, to see what it was like. And man, these are guys that I work with, serial killers, serial rapers, and many guys that blew their families' heads off with shotguns. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my.
Yeah, those are guys I got close to.
And they're in the hospital?
No, they're in the cells, but they come to the hospital every day for treatment.
Oh, okay.
And all of them come in the department where I was working at.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see them every day. And man, it was a scary sight, but I survived 3 years without nothing happening to me, man. Those guys really treated me like family.
What kind of treatment are they getting? Like mental health treatment?
Yeah, mental health treatment. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Mental health guys.
So this was a mental hospital that you were working at?
No, it's the regular hospital, but the mental health patients all over the prison have to come there every day.
Okay.
These are guys in the cell. We call them Camp J warriors. You know, these guys have been in the cell for decades. They'll never come out the cells. And you know,
so they're just locked down all day.
Locked down all day, and they fight you every day. They throw human waste on you. They throw gas on you, burn you alive. They cut you with razors and they jug you.
Did they ever throw anything on you?
No, I was fortunate, man. God was with me. Nobody never threw nothing on me, but they called me every name but the child of God.
Oh, okay.
When they need those shots.
Yeah.
But when they get their shots, they all apologize to me, and they don't eat from anybody. They don't. Only time they eat is if I bring them their food, and you can't get close to them because they would jug you and stab you. But I used to be close to them and talk to them for hours, and they never done me nothing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's indeed.
That's scary. To have to go to a job like that, not knowing if this could be your last day.
Yes,
One of
your
them
last
just
day.
feel like deciding to do something.
Yes.
Did you ever have any friends that worked in that vicinity that got hurt by any of those guys?
Oh yeah. Everybody, I knew many guys that worked over there in the last 3 to 6 months. Somebody, cause they gonna get on your nerves, and if you don't do what they say, a lot of times they gonna hit you with something.
So what's some of the worst things that they've done somebody that you know?
Set guys on. I done seen guys get set on fire. I done seen guys get their throat slashed and all that other stuff like
How
that.
they set them on fire? What?
They throw gas on them and then they throw a light in there on them.
How they get gas? Do they make the gas?
No.
Where they get the gas from?
They buy gas. Guys was working on lawnmowers and all that there, yeah.
And they'll sell them gas.
They'll sell them gas. Yeah, that's their fight. That's their fight.
Did you ever get into fights or have any altercations while working any of your jobs?
No. Everybody always looked at me as a cool, humble dude. I ain't never really had no problem in that goal with none.
That's good. Have you ever had to work around any kind of sissies or cross-dressers?
Oh yeah. Well, I was around a lot of sisters. They got a lot of sisters in that goal. So yeah, I always worked around a lot of them, especially at the hospital, you know. They work on the walls and all that with the inmates, so I ran across them all the time.
So how they dress?
Well, when I first went there, they used to dress like that, but when the new warden came, he took all that away from them.
What kind of stuff they used to wear?
Bikinis and thongs and super tight jeans and lipstick and had their hair braided with barrettes in it and all that stuff like that.
So they would walk around the prison with bikinis on in front of all the other men?
Oh yeah.
And these are men?
Yeah, men were doing that. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of them wear heels?
No, they never wore heels.
Okay. But they would wear tight jeans and
all that stuff, yeah.
And underwear.
Yeah.
And lipstick.
Yeah, they had guys that make women clothes for them and stuff like that, nightgowns and all that other stuff at night.
Can you tell us about a time when you had to defend yourself or even defend someone, or you offended someone while you were working?
No, I never did, because I'm like quiet. I don't really say too much. So I mean, I ain't never really got into any altercation with nobody.
So in the whole 30 years you were in there, you never had no altercation?
Oh yeah, I had plenty of fights. Like I said, when I first went, I was paranoid. So I mean, every time guys looked at me, I mean, I used to get off on them first because I'm thinking in my mind they playing games with me. So I was always on attack mode, always ready.
Always on the defense.
Always on the defense, and I'm getting off first. I ain't gonna let nobody do me nothing. That's how I was coming.
You just never had any issues while you were working?
No, never.
Okay.
Never. I ain't never had no issues.
Did you ever witness a death or serious injury during a prison work assignment?
Yeah, like I said, I done seen guys get conked in the head, stabbed, and
What did they conk them in the head with?
pipes and bricks. So yeah, that's all over the prison.
And they have to go to the hospital afterwards, or did they die? Did any of them die?
Yeah, a guy named what they call him, I forgot, he's called him Butcher Knife. He's from Alexander or something like that. Yeah, I witnessed a guy beat him with a brick.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you were standing right there?
I was in the dormitory. Yeah, you could watching it. Yeah.
And do they shut everything down when something like that happens?
Yeah, they shut it down.
They lock
they lock
everything
everybody
down.
down. Yeah, then they go to investigate and see what happened.
And how long do you be locked down for?
Couple of hours. I mean, it might be a day or two until they find out exactly what happened.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So do y'all still get to eat and all of that stuff when you're locked down?
Yeah, but they make one dorm go at a time. When that one dorm go to child, they lock them down, and then another one go like that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't bring the food to you. They still let you leave to go to the cafeteria.
Yeah, they still let you go to the cafeteria.
Okay.
They still let you go to the cafeteria.
Do you believe it's possible to develop a strong work ethic while serving time?
Oh yeah, I work like a Hebrew slave, man. All I know how to do is work. I don't never get tired, me. So I mean, yeah, you develop a work ethic because you have to work. Unless you go into the hole and you don't want to be there. So yeah.
So it's not optional.
It's not.
You're gonna work every day.
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday that you're doing time.
Yeah, if you don't, you're gonna get on lockdown, and I mean, it's worse on lockdown because you got to go around them mental health patients, So I mean, might as well work.
In your opinion, what's the best job an inmate can get in prison?
An inmate counselor. Learn the law, and you can teach people how to do law. I would say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems rewarding.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that job?
No, I should have. I started a few classes, but then I was like, it's taking up too much of my time because I felt that if I was hustling, I could make the money and pay people to help me get out of prison. Yeah, that's what I did. Mm-hmm.
You say hell with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Did any of your prison jobs allow you to leave the premises and work out in the free world?
Not none of my jobs. But they do have guys that do go on the streets and work.
What kind of work do they do?
They go out there and cut grass, and they go to what you call it, the governor's mansion, stuff like that, and do cement work and welding, people like that.
How do they get to do that?
You got to be a trustee,
okay.
And your job assignment take you on the streets.
Okay.
The guy that helped me out, he used to come all the way to the guy that got me out of prison, he used to come all the way to the Superdome and work, stay down here for weeks.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He was a trustee?
He was a trustee. Okay. And everybody used to always say, man, why you ain't running? Why you ain't running? And I could all pay it off for the guy. Why he didn't run? He got his freedom.
Yeah, exactly. He don't have to run.
Right, he didn't have to run. Even though he had a life sentence, Yeah.
God is good.
Yes, he is.
How often would you pray while in jail, and was that an important practice for you to maintain?
I pray all day. I'm talking about while I'm walking, I'm doing exercise, I'm always praying. In my mind, I'm praying all the time. I had to be prayed up when I was going to work though, because when I was going at, Satan was over that place. Oh man, he was over, so I stayed prayed up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. It's like you have to develop some type of religion just to stay sane in that environment? Because if you don't have any faith or anything to believe in, like, what do you do? Did you run across any people that didn't have any type of religious affiliations at all? And how were those people?
They was always angry, always blaming people for their mistakes. I mean, they stayed in trouble. Yeah.
So what did they consider themselves, atheists?
I don't know. No, they didn't believe. They didn't believe. They didn't believe. They used to always talk about, why God let this happen to kids? Why you let it happen to me? God ain't real. So I mean, they just didn't believe. Mm-hmm.
Would you say that working while incarcerated gave you a sense of peace or purpose?
It gave me a sense of peace because it allowed me to get around a lot of the foolishness that used to take place down the walk, you know. Once I go to my job site, it's like me, and I can get off to myself and do my thinking.
Oh, that's good. I know you hated your jobs, but
yeah, I hated my job.
Overall, it was a little somewhat beneficial.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, get your mind right.
Yeah. Is there an age limit on who can work in the prison?
Yes, they stop at 60 years old, I think. They stop at 60 years old when you can't work no more. Yeah.
Is that for inmates serving life or those? So for inmates serving life or those getting older, do the authorities offer any special privileges or adjustments?
That's for all inmates.
Okay.
That's for all inmates.
Okay. So they don't give them any special privileges or adjustments?
Yeah, a lot of them get special privileges. You know, they stop them at a certain age.
What's some of the privileges they get?
The good jobs. You know, you just walk around picking up trash, stuff like that. Or just stay in the dormitory and wipe down a microwave and a water fountain, stuff like that. Yeah.
Light duty.
Light duty. Yeah, how you know about light duty?
I think every job has a light duty.
Yeah,
I think they have
that's
light
what they
duty.
call it too, light duty.
They have light duty in all jobs.
Wow.
Like if you hurt yourself in the free world, if you hurt yourself on the job, your doctor may put you on light duty. You might have some type of restrictions.
Ooh,
yeah.
I didn't even know that there. Wow.
Yes,
I
light
thought
duty is
light duty was just in prison. That's all
no,
I
it's
See
light
that?
duty is the norm in the workforce. Yes. So you told me some of the jobs that was typically given to the elderly. So what happens to the elderly when they can't work anymore? What do they do?
You just stay in the bed.
Oh, they just stay in the bed
They just stay in the bed all day and just drink coffee and dip, I guess. Yeah, that's all they do.
Oh, wow. So how are the police or guards who monitor y'all? Would you say they're more level-headed or more like jerks, mean and aggressive?
Like for me personally, I never had any encounter with no security officers, but to a lot of people, they jerks. Yeah, they would beat you, lie on you, because a lot of them, wives and sisters and all that work there. And a lot of guys disrespect their wives and sisters, or their sisters and their wives choose inmates, and they build cases on them, and there you go.
So some of the inmates' sisters and wives work at the prison?
No, the security guards.
Oh,
everything is like a family-oriented thing.
Okay. Wow. While working in jail, is it possible to plot and escape, or are you constantly being closely watched?
Oh, you ain't gonna escape from Angola.
There's no escaping.
18,000 acres. You might try, but you ain't gonna go nowhere.
You're not going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. You can't get nowhere.
So what happens if somebody try to run off? Do they have people like that's their designated job to watch the field to see if somebody's trying to escape, and what they gonna do if they see someone running off?
Oh, they'll shoot you. They'll shoot you. They'll catch you and shoot you.
So it's just like the movie Life, where they have somebody that's supposed to shoot you if you run off?
That's Angola. Well, no, not inmates. Back then they did. They had inmate guards, but they got people in the towers now with shotguns.
Who's up high
watching the gates and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they used to have inmates that do that?
Oh, yeah.
Guards?
I know many.
And they would shoot if somebody run off?
Yes, they would shoot you. The movie Life is the real Angola. That's what it is.
Oh, is it based off of that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Do that.
I never knew that.
That's Angola back in the game.
I love that movie. Have you ever observed anybody being out on a job and just take off running?
Yeah, but they don't go nowhere. I mean,
They
run,
just running in
just
the
run,
field.
take out me in the field, and a few guys that ran just run out the field. And yeah, I seen some dude run out the field, and he got gunned down right there, ready to give up.
Lord.
They gunned him down.
Oh, they just killed him.
Yeah, they gunned him. Yeah, they gunned him down.
What do you think he was just ready to go?
Yeah, he was ready
He
to go.
knew what was gonna happen, so
Yeah,
he
because
just,
he knew he couldn't go nowhere.
that was just his way of ending it.
Ending it, yeah, he knew he couldn't go nowhere.
Do you think that's the norm? Like some people just get tired and they just say, "I'm just gonna end it."
Yeah,
And it just-
nowadays, instead of running, they just take fentanyl.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I worked at the hospital and I put so many of my friends in body bags, it's unbelievable.
From fentanyl.
Fentanyl, stabbings, and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Drug overdoses, everything.
That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of punishment does someone get if they try to run if they don't kill them? Like if they catch them?
They go to the cells for many, many years. They might don't never get out the cells. They gonna die in the cells probably.
So they just be on lockdown?
Yeah, they be on lockdown, one man cell. Yeah.
Mm. Have you ever seen any police abuse?
Yes. Listen, I worked at the hospital, and I used to witness every day. They had these two groups. These guys from St. Francisville
Mm-hmm.
and these guys from Mississippi. They used to compete about who do the most damage when they beat inmates up. And I was to be the only inmate back there while they be talking, because that's what my job. And I used to be looking at them. And every day, somebody came back there with broke ribs, broke jaws, everything. They used to whip them young guys all the time. And these young security officers, they're 20, 21 years old.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, but they love beating guys from New Orleans. Ooh, they get a kick out of that. They love it.
So they just have a vendetta against New Orleans.
Yeah, all the security officers have vendettas with guys from New Orleans. They hate us.
Like somebody from New Orleans did them something.
Yeah, they hate guys from New Orleans. They treat us totally different.
So that's a frequent thing for them to abuse inmates, especially if they're from New Orleans, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they do it regular, every day. I'm talking about for the past 3 years before I come home, that's all I seen every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day.
So I just have a couple more questions that I want to ask you before we wrap up. What traits or lessons that you learned behind bars are you going to keep now that you're free? And which ones are you not going to bring into your new life?
Stay focused, even though I know times are going to get hard, I can get through it. I can get through it. I'm not thinking about doing nothing wrong, never.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things that you won't take with you into your free life?
That I won't take?
Yeah. Some traits that you learned that you won't take.
Stay positive, man. Stay away from stay away from negative people and negative conversations, and just focus on the road ahead.
And what does the road ahead look like for Lil Diesel?
Oh, it's a blessing, man. My brother Brian, Terrence, and all these guys. My brothers out the Mel Howard and all of them. Those brothers have been a blessing to me. They make sure I stay on the right path.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When times get rough, they can hear it in my verse, and they're like, "Oh no, you ain't going backwards." They can hear it in my verse when they be like, "Oh," because they say I'm used to always having my own,
Yeah.
and now that I'm not doing wrong, it gets a little hard, job work, we're seeking jobs and stuff like that there. So they've been there for me, man, every step of the way.
Even though you're making more money than you made in jail, is it still rough
Oh yeah.
coming home and you see how much the world has changed and everything's all electronic and this, that, and the other? Like, what are some of your goals and aspirations for your life?
I want to accomplish things so I can be able to reach back and help people. I want to own my own home. I want me a nice ride. And I just want to be happy and travel.
What kind of car you want?
I want me a Rover.
A Range Rover?
Yeah, I want me a Range Rover.
Okay. That's your car of choice.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want.
That's understandable.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna live above my means though to get it.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you're gonna do what it takes to get it, but it won't be anything illegal.
Oh yeah, I just want to build my credit up. I know once I build my credit up, I can go sign for that thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my last question, what lessons that you learned while incarcerated will actually help you now that you're out?
Stay around positive thinking people. Stay around positive thinking people. People who want something out of life. People who want to see me do good, you know. Terrence, Brian, I mean, they always tell me, man, you know, we got you, man. Stay focused, we got you. You know, they want me to succeed, man. They say they want to see me win. All my partners want to see me win. So, I mean, I'm good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say to your followers?
Please subscribe to the channel. And
What's
I'll be
your
coming
channel
back.
name?
Diesel Milk. That's what it is, but I'm gonna change it 30 summers. Yeah, and I got some more action coming to you.
And how do they follow you on Instagram?
Lil Diesel 30 Flat on Instagram. That's me, y'all.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.